Hello, I'm Christy Kaludi, the principal of Northwest Primary School in Pierpoint Personalized Learning Center. I am here with another segment of the Rutland City Public Schools Learning Lounge. Super excited to have folks here from Rutland High School, and I will have them introduce themselves and get started on some information they would like to share with us. So we will first start with Rihanna.
Hi, I'm Rihanna Eldrer, and I'm a senior at Rutland High School.
I'm Bianca McKean. I'm an associate principal at the high school, and my main areas of focus are curriculum, instruction, and assessment.
Hi, I'm Gemma Snug. I'm a senior at Rutland High School.
Hi, I'm Jen McNeil. I'm a work-based learning coordinator at Rutland High School and a math teacher.
So we are here to have them share some information with us about work-based learning and PLACE. So I'm totally going to turn this over to them because I really don't know much about it. So I'm super excited to have them joining us. And who would like to kick it off for us?
I can give a little bit of background. Sure. So Rutland High School has been very committed to increasing our work-based learning. And we've had work-based learning in some form for a really long time, going back to various teachers that really felt it was important to get students applying their learning in a real-world setting. We had a long-standing school-to-work program for students, and then we also had, during our year-end studies program, students doing sort of mini internships or job shadows with various partners in the community, and those have been long-standing for a long time. And then in 2016, we had myself and two other teachers at the high school at the time applied for a Roland Fellowship to really start our PLACE program. Okay. And PLACE stands for Promoting Learning by Activating Community Engagement. And it's essentially a service-based internship program. Students do 60 hours, I think it's still 60 hours at least, with a community partner. That's the ideal time. It's a semester-long course. Mainly juniors and seniors can take this. And we have so many community partners, thanks to Jen's connections and some of the other teachers at the high school. And I'll let them talk a little bit about that. But the PLACE program really developed. Again, we started it in 2016, and now in the last couple of years, we've actually have two full-time teachers for work-based learning, and we have a variety of different programs, everything from career explorations, which is like a quarter-long class, right up through our internship program, and I'm sure you'll hear more about that today.
Nice. Awesome. Who would like to start talking a little bit about how you got started in this, what you're doing?
Yeah, I can start. So I started this about last year when I was talking with my guidance counselor. I pretty much just said that I needed to figure out what I wanted to do after high school, and she introduced the PLACE class to me. And when I started it this year, I was pretty much set on what I wanted to do. I work at Dr. Bruce's Eastwood Animal Clinic in veterinary technology and technician work, and it pretty much has just helped me overall know that that's what I want to do. And the teachers have been really great, and it's just a good program for kids to go into to help them further understand what it's like to work in in a more professional environment. So that's been super helpful for me, and I know a lot of other kids also really enjoy that.
So you're a senior. Yes. And you decided last year what you want, is there a difference between work-based learning and PLACE, or is it the same thing?
PLACE is kind of the umbrella.
Okay.
It's all different kinds of work-based learning experiences. Okay. So some students might take a career exploration class as a ninth grader and then build up. We have another class called Career Experiences, which is brand new, that I'll let Jen kind of talk about. And then the PLACE internship is kind of like the cumulative experience. We have had one or two students do a couple of PLACE internships, but ideally we'd love to see more students stepping in and taking this internship opportunity.
We also have PLACE available during Yes Plan, so that's a more condensed opportunity for students to participate in a work experience, which sometimes gives them the full day. It's a 9 to 2 experience, so it's a little bit different. We've had students take the PLACE internship and then also take it during Yes Plan, and Rihanna could, if she wanted to, stay and kind of get a full day experience instead of sometimes during the PLACE internship, they're there a couple hours a day. Okay. So I had a student last year that stayed at the physical therapy clinic, so he was there a couple hours and then he stayed for the full day, so it kind of gives them that's kind of the big picture of what it is really to be a full-time employee.
So Gemma, what is your work-based learning experience right now, or what do you?
So originally I knew from the very start of high school that I wanted to do an internship. I wanted to really build with the community outside of my house because I originally moved from Pennsylvania, and knowing that a great community was out there, I just wanted to make sure I got the full of it. But as soon as I heard that I could take a class in high school, I immediately jumped at it, and I was just waiting until I was a senior to do it. That way I won't have to worry about other classes, just make sure I focus on that one. But my internship kind of path took multiple turns. I changed multiple times. Originally I went to Hever Heels, which is where I was doing my internship for marketing. But then after a little bit, I figured out that that wasn't really what was calling to me. Rather, it was child education, just seeing the kids smile, getting to be there every day, forming relationships, seeing how they took well to the stations, which were set up every day, getting to see which new ones come in. So I kind of focused near the end towards child education as my path. And I had a really great mentor, and I had really great teachers to help me with that transition. So that's a little bit about my path. It was kind of an iffy one, but I got to where I wanted to at the end.
And what a time to figure out what you want to do.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I have 2 college students. They're still unsure. They're both graduating and still not sure. So I
Yeah.
think it's awesome that you can do that. Can you just, so if there's other students that are watching this that maybe, upcoming freshmen, what does your schedule look like? So I know you said a couple hours. What's your schedule as a senior?
So I go in for A block and B block, and I have those 2 classes. And then as a senior, you're able to drop a study hall that you have, and so I dropped my study hall, and then I don't have a flex block either, which is normally where you go and talk to teachers and get extra help. So as a senior, you're also able to drop that. So I have a pretty good chunk in my day. So I'm not there for C, D, or flex. So I'm there for about 2 hours and 45 minutes, and then I go back for my E block class. So I get a pretty good chunk. Normally we start in I'm there when appointments are going on, and then I switch in and go in for surgeries and things like that. So I get to see both of what happens, which I really like. So I'm there for some of the day and not there at school for other parts of the day.
How about you, Gemma?
So mine just was a little bit different. I didn't have as much free time. So my A block consisted of civics, which I'm currently doing right now, and then my B block would be placement. And then again, since I'm a senior, I was able to opt out of my C block study hall. So when I was doing my internship, I would go for my B and C block and then come back, and that was roughly about 1 hour, half hour kind of duration. And that I would do those every Tuesday and Friday. So I'll go there for that amount of time, then I'll come back to school. That's kind of how my schedule went.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we know a student wants to do an internship, the school counselors work to craft their schedule so they have the place class, and then they have a free block connected to that so that they can get out into the community for a longer amount of time. Sometimes we can bump it up against flex block to allow for even more time, and it's really about the community partner and the times that they can match up in their schedule. But it certainly helps if underclassmen think they might want to do this, if they get some of those other required credits out of the way, so they have more flexibility. But that is a goal, is to link a study hall so that they have the time. And Jen can talk about sort of the structure of the course itself.
Right.
Yeah.
So typically students attend their place class on Mondays, and then they go to their internship Tuesdays through Fridays, depending on, like Bianca said, their mentor's schedule. So, and how much time they have available to go. So usually for place, they are required to do 50 to 60 hours as a minimum, and a lot of students do more than that. A semester,
Okay.
yep. So some students might go every day, Tuesday through Friday. Some might go Tuesday and Thursday. Some might go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So it kind of just depends on how many hours they go each week. But a minimum usually of 2 days a week they would go to their internships, and then we meet with them every Monday, and then that's where we work on some of those job skills. We do writing resumes and cover letters early on so that they bring those to their mentors when they're starting out looking for internships, and then we continue those professional skills, how to talk on the phone, how to write emails, networking with people, and those soft skills that employers are looking for.
Do you go out into the field to like supervise or observe or things like that and give feedback to them?
So Kim, who's the other work-based learning coordinator, and I, we meet with the students and their mentors on a regular basis, and we check in with the mentors and then solicit their feedback. We have 2 evaluations that we do at the midpoint and the end to see how the students are doing, and then ask students to do a self-evaluation. So we're really, it's great.
What a great opportunity for students. So what are some of the skills you've acquired through this project, this class? I'm just thinking of like scheduling and, flexing your time and being organized and communication and, you know, what have you gained from this?
Yeah, I've pretty much set like myself up to be there at a specific time every day and make sure that I leave at a time. And the time I have in between there and school is for me to get everything else I need to get done like as fast as possible so that I can get there. And I like to keep myself on that schedule because I've learned even just from being at the clinic that the month and a half that I've been there that it is super important to be on time with your schedule or else things get backed up. And like just knowing how to like talk to people and handle certain situations has been really important because I've never really gotten that experience before. And now that I'm finally in a place where I can do that, it's like taken a very, like it's just opened my eyes a lot more to how different things are compared to just sitting in a classroom talking to one teacher and you're the same classmates every day. It's been totally different for me. And I've really enjoyed learning that, like those skills that I've had to take in.
It's just such a mature thing, it's just so nice to see that you guys are doing this already. It's awesome.
For me, it was a combination of learning how to use your time wisely, because oftentimes I was handling different projects, and being there only 2 days of the week, I was only able to get certain projects done and have to push some to the side and be like, I have to leave that for later, I don't have time right now. And also just learning that you don't have to be an adult all the time, because when I stepped into that gym, I taught myself that I'm around kids. I don't have to be an adult all the time. I can connect with them on a deeper level if I act like kids, because I am still a kid. So
We're
it's kind
always
of just
kids.
so it's kind of those combination of things that just really stood out that I've learned that I just forget most of the time. That I just I have to reconnect myself with them.
So what are some other internship opportunities that folks we heard too? What are some other things
We've
offer?
had students at the hospital, so in nursing, shadowing at the orthopedic clinic with some of the physicians there. We've had quite a few students interested in physical therapy. We had a student at an accountant's office. We've had students do automotive repair with Baraldi's. Last semester I had a student in the dental with a dental hygienist who turned out to be her childhood dental hygienist, so she was pretty excited to reconnect with her. We've had a lot of students at the schools, as you know.
We love it. We love
They
it.
love to partner there. We had someone at the country club last semester. He was interested in looking into being a golf pro. We've had some marketing. The Rutland Rec has been very gracious in hosting student interns over the past few years. We had one of my students last semester was also at Neighbor Hoodworks. She worked with the Heat Squad. Am I forgetting any, Bianca, that you can think of?
I think it's, it's
very
kind of endless possibilities with limitations. We are talking about high school students, and there are some things that legally they can't do with liability. And so part of Jen's role is to really work with the community partner to let them know, what are the safety things they can do and can't do. When we first started the program, we had a student with the state's attorney's office. It's really about, oftentimes students will come in and they don't know what they want to do. So they do some exploration and some of these feeder classes that they don't have to take before they do a place internship, but it might help them kind of explore what their passions are. Oftentimes students might think they want to do physical therapy, and they get into an internship and they're like, wow, that's not what I thought it was. And isn't it great that they get that experience as a high school student before they do all the post-secondary work, Stafford is another school in our district and they also place students, and some of those students can do different skills because they've had some trade and on-the-job sort of training. So Jen works closely with Stafford as well to make sure we're not oversaturating our community partners. It's so valuable that we have members of our community that are willing to take high school students, and so many partners have said yes again and again, which we greatly appreciate. And we want to make sure, like when we first developed the program, we wanted to make sure we were trying to connect students the best that we could, letting students know that they have career opportunities if they stay in Vermont and if they stay in Rutland. But sometimes it's not a perfect fit. A student wants to do something, we can't quite find a mentor. So I think the true work at the beginning is really trying to find the right mentor and help the student get a sampling. And if it's not quite right, then we try to pivot and help. And in Gemma's situation, you were with the same mentor, which was great. Like the mentor was flexible and willing to kind of explore that, but then also that component of a service learning project to really say to the community mentor, what is something that you need that I can help give you to give back to the community for having me as a student.
Is that part of the requirement when you do?
Yeah.
Can you speak a little, what does that look like?
Yeah, so students get to choose what they want to do to kind of give back to the organization or the business. And I recommend kind of they talk to their mentor about what might benefit them. Do you want to talk, Gemma, about what you did for your service?
Yeah, it was, for me, it was real, at first it was hard to figure out what I could do because there was a lot and I kind of felt overwhelmed by it. But when I asked Miss Candace, the person who I was mentoring with, she suggested making a lesson plan based off of other lesson plans that she had available. So I looked through different lesson plans, I got inspiration, and I was able to make a lesson plan on my own. She took it and she's like, oh, can I make a copy of this? I might use it in the future. And I thought that was really nice. I thought I did okay, but I guess she thought I did good. So that was nice, and I used that for my service learning project just to give back to her and be like, this is one less extra thing you need to create. So that's what I did.
I think we've had other students that have, in some cases they're like, I really need help with marketing material, brochure, or we want to create this survey. Can you help us with that?
Yeah, they did some marketing at the RAC, and then I know that's what many students have done. Sometimes at the schools they've done like bulletin boards or service projects, like if they're trying to collect items. I think Riley helped the United Way with their mittens project that they do and collecting the weather, like the cold weather gear. I'm not sure.
I haven't finished my. I'm in the middle of my class, so I haven't.
What do you think you might do?
I'll probably do something with like organizing a lot. They do a lot of like organizing or like buying things for them. Probably not like buying, but like getting things ordered or making like posters for them and stuff to pin up around and like do things like that they really enjoy. They love having things around the clinic to like get people more like involved with like their animals and things like that. So I'll probably have something to do with that.
So if you have friends watching or you're trying to convince other students to try these things out, why should they do this type of internship or project?
It's really helped me figure out what I want to do in the future, and it's just a great experience for yourself to like know that that's what you want to do, because like nobody loves the feeling of going to like college or getting out of high school and being like, I have no clue what I want to do. No one likes that feeling. So getting to do this place internship has made it so people understand like what they do and don't want to do, and I think that everyone should like really give it a try because it really does help you, and you just get to help your community, give back, and benefit yourself. It's just like all in all, it was just something that I'm not even done with it yet. I've been in there for a month and a half, and I really have enjoyed it already. So it's been so helpful for me.
Good.
Yeah, for me, if anyone's really determining if they want to do an internship, I'd say go for it. It's definitely worth it. I've learned so much. I've made so many new connections. I found a mentor that really helped me grow and gain new skills. It's helped me meet more children that I never would have met otherwise. It helped me meet more parents. It's just helped me a lot, and I'm really grateful to everyone who put in the time and effort to make me feel like I really belonged in that space. That's just what it did for me, so highly recommend it.
How many students do you have in these internships or in a semester or a class or whatever?
Typically, I would say we have about around 12, maybe to 15 a semester.
Is there a waiting list, or basically do you feel
So prior to COVID, our numbers were much higher.
Yeah.
And then we did run internships through COVID, and it was a little bit more challenging. There were some community partners that couldn't have students coming in, so some students had virtual experiences. And I think that became a little bit of a bump. We're still kind of recovering from that. And I think we're trying to get the word out to students to try this. We now, as I mentioned at the beginning, we have these like feeder classes that we're hoping, because I think in general, some students have less confidence in saying, I'm going to get out there with a community partner and try this new thing. So we're hoping that by building some of the soft skills and helping students to see all the different possibilities, that we might have more students involved. Ideally, we try to have like 12 students per class, and then we have the ability to run, we run our courses based on student interest, but several internship courses each semester. There are some years where we've had much higher numbers, and maybe we've placed 50 students during the school year in semester programs, and then during Yes Plan,
we have
we
close
placed
to
about
45,
45
to 50
for the
usually.
2-week intensive. And like I said, some students will do a Yes Plan, and then as a senior do an internship. So there's a lot of different opportunities and flexibility for students, but I think we also want to make sure that students are ready to get out there.
Right.
So some students get placed much quicker. Other students, it might take a little bit longer. They sort of have to demonstrate that they're ready for that as well.
And in those feeder classes, we're trying to encourage students to do more like job shadows, to go out and see some of the places for just a couple hours. So that maybe then that would kind of motivate them to look into internships their junior and senior year. Because I think going back to that confidence and being nervous to leave the comfort really of school.
Yeah. So with the busy schedule and the busy internships, do you have time for things in addition, like extracurricular activities? What are some things you do besides work and school?
So I am a cheerleader. I do 2 different types. I do All-Star Cheer, which is through a program called Peak Performance All-Stars.
Okay.
And then I do high school cheer through like the actual high school, and we actually just won our 10th state title in a row.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you.
That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I've been a part of the program since I was a freshman, and one of the main reasons I came to Rutland, because I was originally from another school, from Fairhaven. One of the reasons I came was because of the cheer program. I've been doing it since I was little, and it's just made a really big impact on me. And it's honestly has helped me like understand, even with like my internship, my place, it's helped me balance out like my fun time and my work time. Like when it's like time to like be serious, be more mature, be an adult, and when I can go to those activities like cheer and like just be more you and more fun and giggly and
totally.
So I really love cheer. I've been doing it since I was 3. My senior year, we just finished, so a little sad about that, but I still have All-Stars, and I'm staying around next year, and I'm going to Castleton, so I can cheer for Castleton, so I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, that's great.
Mine's kind of similar, except it's music. Music has been a really big part of my life ever since I was little. Any chance that there was a new musical coming out in like my school or outside groups, I auditioned for it, and I'm trying to continue that. Just last year, I was really busy, but I promised Missy, who works at Rutland Youth Theater, that I would do a final show as a senior, kind of like a final send-off. And I just auditioned for one, and I got in, so I'm doing that, doing work on the side. I'm doing some skiing when the weather's good. It hasn't been as good lately, but I'm trying to get in there when I can. I just hang out with friends after school, try to make sure to keep up my social life. But yeah, that's mainly it. I'm mainly a stay-in person, so if I try to be social.
Yeah, you sound like you're pretty social. for sure. And it's like, I mean, we always have a work-life balance, right? Like and you're really starting it now, so that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, it's important also to recognize that these skills that the students are gaining by getting out there and interacting with the community, you mentioned communicating with parents and things that not every high school student is doing. It's helping students to bridge what life after high school is going to be like. So, some of these intro classes that our 9th and 10th grade students are taking, or sometimes upperclassmen are taking, will kind of give them some of the groundwork to then hopefully have those skills. But you have to be able to balance it, and so we try to support students in how to develop those skills so they can be successful with that. So we're really lucky to have Jen and Kim and all of our staff to really support it.
It's so amazing. Yeah, and I'm back for the second year in the district, but I really didn't know much about what. I know we had kids that came down to Northwest Primary School, but I wasn't really sure why. I mean, I knew why they were there, but I didn't know like the bigger picture of what you guys do at the high school. So super informative for sure. Any final thoughts before we wrap up? Any last parting words of advice for those watching that are young adults like you?
I'd say take the risk. Even
Take
if
the
you don't
risk.
think you're going to like it, try it, because you never really know. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to like doing it, like leaving school, going back. But, I mean, I couldn't imagine my senior year without it at this point. Like, I really do like it. So it's important to just take the risk and know that it can always be changed if you don't like it.
Right.
You can always go back and figure something else out.
Yeah. If you have the opportunities to be an intern at an early age, definitely consider it and definitely trying it out. It's gonna do you better in the long run than skipping possible opportunities. So just take it, honestly.
Great. Any other thoughts?
I would say for us, work-based learning is really important. So even if you're not ready for an internship, getting involved in one of our other courses, our School to Work or career explorations or career experiences, is a great way to get your foot in the door and
Support the community, the bigger,
Yeah.
Rutland community. It's really valuable for our community, right?
yeah, and that's our big takeaway too, is that we couldn't do this without the supportive community that we
Yeah,
have. So if
huge.
there's anybody watching who's interested in being a mentor or supporting a student in their business in any kind of way, and if you can't do a full internship but could maybe do a shadow, please reach out to either myself or Jen McNeil or Kim Ransom, and we would love to partner with other mentors because we are very appreciative of them.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. And if you want to come on again anytime, like as a follow-up next year, let us know what you're doing. We'd love to have you back for sure.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you so much for watching Rutland City Public Schools Learning Lounge.